It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles, and you know what that means. It's time for another exciting episode of Taxi TV Live. And thank you, band. Thank you, fake audience. And hello to all you guys in the chat room and other viewers as well. I just had a little sneezing attack. And good morning, Amanda. I know it's practically morning for you, or it is 1 a.m. or something for you. Just had a little sneezing attack, so I've got the paper towel nearby. If I have another attack, you may have to excuse me for a moment. Fun Song says, "Greetings, Earthlings." So, the 7 deadly sins that can kill a career. I had this thought, I guess it was last week. I got a call from a friend of mine who's a music industry legend, really big guy, just, like, I don't know, 100 gold and platinum records to his credit. And he's always calling me when he takes stuff from Taxi members, a lot of stuff that he takes from the Road Rally, and listens to it over time in his car as he drives around. And he'll call me up and tell me when he likes something and ask me if I know the member, do I know more about the member. And he's had musical relationships with members over the years and has worked with several of them, and has licensed some of their stuff for movies when he's music supervised films. And he called the other day and he said, I got to tell you, I just heard a piece of music that I really, really like. And I realized there's nothing on the sleeve. It was just one of those, I think, a paper sleeve, little cellophane round window in it. And he said, I have no idea who this is. I have no idea what the track list is for the CD. And he popped the CD out of the player, and there's nothing on the CD. So he doesn't even know who the member is, how to contact the member, or the names of the songs. And I wrote something about that, I think, that went out with the August 1st listings about, that was one of the deadly sins. So that inspired me to do today's show about the 7 deadly sins that can kill your music career. Before I get into that, I want to talk for a minute. I'm a little bit drowsy today because my wife and I have been doing a marathon of watching a show that's only available, I believe, on Hulu Plus, and it's called Prisoners of War, and it's the show that aired for a couple of years in Israel. I think it's coming back for a 3rd season, but it inspired Homeland, which is a huge hit here in the States on Showtime. So we've been watching Prisoners of War. It's also in Hebrew called Hatufim, and it's got subtitles, and really, really, really good. And it'll be like midnight, okay, just one more. And then at 1 a.m., all right, one more. So we've been staying up till 2:30 in the morning several nights now watching Prisoners of War. And I've got to tell you, it's different but the same as Homeland is here in the States. It's really... it's a little more cerebral and emotional, maybe less action-packed, but, better in some regards, different in others. But, man, if you've got Hulu Plus, or if you want to pop for $7.95 a month, I think they actually have a free trial, so you could actually watch it during your 30 days of free trial. But really, really, really good, even with the subtitles. Although, I want to lodge a complaint with all those people who put subtitles in, and that is, don't use white subtitles when half the background they're up against is light or white. Can't see what the hell you're reading. Anyway, really, really good. Don't miss it if you can get it. Prisoners of War. So there you go, the 7 deadly sins. The first of the 7 deadly sins is not knowing, and we've covered several of these on various shows throughout the years, but I'm consolidating them today because every time that I do one of these shows, I see new people in the chat room, and I'm sure that we've got new watchers, new viewers. Stuff is always worth repeating because we see it all the time, and it was, again, inspired by my big-time music industry friend who called me and said that... he was actually ticked off at that Taxi member for not having any contact information, and just, like how unprofessional that person was. And he really wanted to reach out to them. So, not knowing what genre of music that you make, or what a particular song or track, if you're doing instrumental cues, not being able to say what it is. If you don't know, how would you expect an A&R person or a music supervisor or a music library owner or your fans to know? Unfortunately, the music industry operates within genres and radio formats, and people complain about the cookie cutter syndrome. Everybody wants everything pigeonholed. Well, they want that for a reason. And yeah, it doesn't mean that you can't do, like Martian space rap country music. If that's what your heart desires, go ahead and do it. Don't expect a high probability of earning income with it, but do it. If it makes you happy and it's your art, do it. But if you want to build a career and earn income with your music, you've got to be able, when somebody stops you in an elevator or you stop them in an elevator, like at the Taxi Road Rally, it's so common. You jump in the elevator to go up to your room and like brush your teeth or grab more CDs or change your shirt, whatever. And all of a sudden you realize you're standing in the elevator with one of the panelists who might be a supervisor or an A&R person, whatever. And they start chatting with you and they say, what kind of music do you do? Well, I don't really know. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's kind of, country, jazz, rap. They're going to discount you right off the bat as being unprofessional, and they're not going to be interested in hearing what you've got. If you can succinctly say to them, I do contemporary country pop, and that's the kind of thing that they use or need or, like, boom, they're interested. You got a conversation going and an opportunity where they may say, hey, man, let me have one of your CDs. So there you go. Let's see. If you're a carpenter and somebody asks you what you build, you wouldn't, don't you think you'd appear to be unprofessional if your answer was, well, I build stuff that's a little bit like a cabinet, but it's also kind of like a boat. Sometimes it's like a chair. You need to be able to tell people specifically and succinctly what kind of music you make. If you do electro-orchestral hybrids, or I do country pop, if you can't tell them what you do, how do you expect them to be interested in what you do? So there you go. That is sin number one, not knowing or being able to articulate what genre of music you do or a particular song or track is. Aloha from Kauai. Kauai, I missed it this year. Heartbroken. The Kauai Music Festival just ended on Saturday night, and I want to let anybody who was there know that Saturday night at a certain time I went, well, right about now I would be packing my suitcase, getting ready to roll out of the hotel and head to the airport to come home. Okay, 7 Deadly Sins. This is number 2, not providing your contact information where it can be easily found. This is what I was talking about with my friend in his car the other day, that is so generous in taking time to listen to Taxi members, and he actually heard something he was interested in and had no way to know who it was or how to contact that person. So make sure that you include your name, your phone number, your email address, and the song titles on the CD, and especially on the sleeve or the jewel case. Jewel case, you say? CD, you say? I thought everybody in the industry uses MP3s and sends them around on computers and iPads and what have you. A lot of people do, but in Los Angeles we have this thing called constant bumper-to-bumper traffic. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only guy in the industry that pretty much always has a stack of CDs in the door pocket of my car or in the passenger seat of my car, and I listen to stuff while I'm stuck in traffic. And my friend is right. There's nothing more frustrating than hearing something great and you want to make a note. Was that track number 3? What was that called? And you look down at the passenger seat as you rear end the car in front of you, and you realize that the jewel case has no label on it and there's no track list to be found. And yes, the track list may be on the CD, but who the hell wants to pop the CD out to see, oh, that was track number 3. The song is called I Love You, Mary. Great, and then shove it back in. If you're going to make it like an obstacle course or put a bunch of hurdles or speed bumps in front of the industry person, I know it seems minor and it seems like they're a bunch of finicky idiots, but the truth of the matter is, after doing it for tens of years and listening to thousands of pieces of music, you don't want the speed bumps or hurdles or obstacle course standing between you and the music that you love. So if they love it, let them know who you are, what it is, where they can find you. Let's see. Also talk about putting the song on CD. Did that. Did that. Got that covered. The same goes for music on thumb drives. Look at this. I brought visual aids. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. People give me thumb drives with music. That's cool. It's MP3s. It's not CDs. It's modern. Look what this one says. 3-song demo. That's all it says. And it doesn't even really look like demo. It looks like dunno. 3-song demo. People take old... This one apparently was a drive that was given to somebody by Google. So they cleared off whatever it had. Maybe it was a blank drive and they got it and they wrote 3-song demo, whatever on there. Now here's one. It actually says something that's really hard to read. Angels of Sona. This one actually has something on it. And then on the other side, it's got the record company logo. So that's an example of, okay, we know where this one came from. And if I heard something I loved, I could call that label and say, I've got something by the Angels of Sona. Not a great name, but it's there. And then there's this old trick. Somebody gives you a drive, and you think, oh boy, free drive. I got a 4-gig drive. What shall I do with it? I shall peel off their label that had their music listed on it and do nothing. They put no label on it. Yeah, I don't know what that is. And these are just the ones that I pulled out of my briefcase today. I always keep them in my briefcase. Here's another one. Blank. I have no idea what that is. So people walk up to me, whether it's at the road rally or, I don't know, I've had people stop me in, Costco before, and people give me CDs, people give me drives, and gee, I would really want to know how to contact some of these people. Well, Mojo Bone says, thumb drives, hard to write on. Well, you know what? Where is it? These guys, the small Sharpie, not the big Sharpie. There's a big fat Sharpie. There's the thinner Sharpie. The thin Sharpie has a fine, where is that? There it is. A fine little point. Okay. Really good for writing on things like thumb drives. So there you go. Make sure you at least put Bob Jones and your phone number on there. Also, if you're sending out music on thumb drives or you're sending MP3s to people as attachments, which people are liking less and less in the industry these days, especially when they're big fat files that take forever to download and slow down their computers, meta tag each song. Put them in iTunes, open up the info tab, and inside the info tab there are several slots where you can put stuff in there like your name, the song title, let's see what else, the genre would be good, and ask somebody else what they think the genre is. Ask 2 or 3 other people, not your own opinion of the genre. And please don't write in, space, cowboy, new age music for the genre. Try and give them a genre that's actually usable and well known, or might be on the charts or on a radio station. You could give them the BPM. You could tell them the mood. This is 130 BPM pop, and the mood is happy party. Okay, so now they look at that and they go, okay, I want happy party music. There's some right there on that digital device or in that file. Got that. Tell them about I told them about the iTunes. Yep, got all that taken care of. Okay, this is going to be a very short show today. So if you've got questions about anything, start writing them down. Not in the chat now because I'm not looking at the chat, but write down your questions and we will be answering questions in a little bit. Okay, another one. This is a doozy. I know I've brought this up before. cannot stress it enough because this is something that people just screw up all the time. Not titling your music so the buyer or end user knows what it is versus only you knowing what it is, okay? I know I've mentioned this before, but it cannot be said often enough. Titling an instrumental track you're pitching for an advertising pitch, 29.5 instrumental ad pitch, as your title, might let you know what's on it in the moment for you, but somebody at an ad agency that's listening to hundreds of tracks will toss it if they see a title like that. Yep, they're going to toss it. I know you might think that they're jerks for doing it, but when you do it every day for a living and you see titles, I'm going to read you off some titles. I printed out, I just opened up a file in my iTunes and printed out a list of titles. Didn't go searching for bad titles, and some of these are good, some of these are bad. They're all really small. They're like in a 6-point font. Let's listen to some of these titles together. Indie Rock Com. I'm guessing that means Indie Rock Commercial Track. Indie Rock Com, not .com, just Indie Rock and then COM capitalized. Soundtrack, SDTRK, this is the one, .mp3. We ran a listing some time ago. An ad agency needed something with 4 notes in it. They were looking for some sort of musical ID thing, and they said they just want 4 notes, kind of like, what do they call those things? Like dome, boom, boom. We all know that's NBC. Let's see, Intel's got one. There's several companies, Mnemonics, I think they're called. So this company was looking for a theme that ended in a 4-note mnemonic, if I'm getting that definition right, which I believe I am. So this person titled their track, The 4-Note Song. Wow. If I'm a guy at an ad agency and Taxi sends me a thing that says The 4-Note Song, I'm going to think that's silly. You know why? Because a bunch of other people called their things The 4-Note Song as well. We had a bunch of them. While it made sense to the creators of those 4-note songs in the moment for their filing purpose, because they can look at it on their laptop and know it's the 4-note song, it sure as heck isn't going to impress anybody at the ad agency. It's going to make them look like a rookie. Here's one called Commercial Instrumental. And guess what? It's followed by another one called Commercial Instrumental 2. Same person, I'm guessing. Here we have Mystery Jingle 30. I kid you not. Mystery Jingle 30. Then we have Mystery Jingle 30.mp3. Then we have Bright Skies.mp3. Well, that one's not terrible. Bright Skies, that tells you a little something about the track. Probably going to be happy and light and optimistic, which are all good things for ad music. So Bright Skies, not terrible. Here's one I think is really good, and I'll bet you this, I remember we ran a thing, gosh, I think it was Abilify. We ran looking for music for the Abilify commercials years ago, or something like Abilify. It was some pill that you take with your pill, you know, if like your regular pill's not making you happy enough. This was like a kicker. It was kind of like doing, a shot of tequila with a beer back, I guess, but in pill form. And they were looking for stuff that transitioned into hopeful. Started out sounding depressed. Remember this listing? Started out sounding a little gloomy, and then kind of, like 13 seconds into the spot, there's like a harp glissando, and the sky opens up, and the clouds move away, and the sun starts to shine, and it grows hopeful. This person had the good sense to name their track Hope Grows. Could have been about a 4-year-old named Hope, but no, I like that one, Hope Grows. Here's another one, probably for the same thing, New Day. Not bad. Here's one right after it, 30-second spot, 30 SEC spot.mp3. Here's one, 30-second ad cue, mp3.mp3. Genius. Here's another one, 30-second ad cue version 2.mp3. Here's yet another one called Nickname Jingle 1. Nickname Jingle 1, Tata, T-A-T-A. 30 seconds over Taxi, MP3. Third Degree, that one could be, I'm guessing, maybe a CSI type piece. Not bad. Here With You.mp3, in a certain context, Here With You might work, right? Kind of warm and fuzzy, maybe feeling. Not terrible. Here's one, It's a Fun Day. That's a good title. Okay? You know what to expect. If you're an editor, if you're a music supervisor and you're scanning, a list, I always get this wrong. If you're scanning that list and you see It's a Fun Day, you know that one's probably what you're looking for. Playground for You, number 4, letter U. Not terrible depending on the context. Taking a Shot, not terrible depending on the context. Here's one that says commercial and then has the member's name inserted right after the word commercial. Not good. I'm not going to mention the member's name. Here's acoustic 4-note button. I'm guessing that was for the 4-note ad pitch with a buttoned ending. Acoustic 4-note button. Tells the member exactly what it is. A year from now, if the member wanted to go back and find that, they could probably find it. The ad agency person, not so much. 30-second pop no solo with button. Not great. Not that strong. The Easy Life, not bad. 30-second 4 notes. .mp3, Beautiful Life mp3.mp3. I don't know why people do this thing where they do mp3.mp3. We know it's an mp3. The file tells us that. Feel the Energy mp3, not bad. No, I'm not going to spill the name. You guys are so mean. Let's see. Flowers for You, not terrible. Daybreak, not bad. Level 1 mp3.mp3. PLG mp3. Retro Blues mp3, not terrible. Here's just the guy's name. Blankety blank plus level up. There's another one with just the person's name as the song title. I don't even know how to pronounce this one. Kappa Mocha, maybe it's for a coffee thing. CAPOMOKA. Kappa Mocha. Starbucks is probably watching the show today and they're going to rip that off. I'd like a Kappa Mocha, please, with skim milk and a sugar. When the Beat Drops. Everybody Going Out. That's a good title. Everybody Going Out. Can't you imagine an ad agency asking us for, we need like a girls' night out thing, kind of a dancey, beat-driven thing, a bunch of girls. I think we did one, I want to say for a shoe commercial, or the commercial had, it's like a guy and a girl. If I remember the script or the video for this one. It was a guy and a girl, probably 30-year-old yuppies living in New York City type, and they're both at home, and you can tell that he's talking to her about going out, and she's like, yeah, I want to go out, but not with you, dude. And she's slipping on her cute little outfit and putting on her cool shoes, and she says, see you later, and she bolts out the door, and she meets all the girls downstairs on the street, and the girls go out together. So that one could work. Everybody Going Out. You Are, letter U, letter R, My Drug. .mp3. I'm guessing that was for Abilify. Anyway, you get the idea. I don't want to sit here and do a bunch of these. Well, I've already done a bunch, and I've got pages more of them. I could do this all day long. Here's some good ones. This was years ago. Campbell's Soup ran stuff, and they were looking for stuff that sounded kind of like, I think maybe one of the references was Kate Nash. And they wanted stuff, and thematically they wanted the lyric to be about having a great day. So here's the song title. This was called Amazing Day by Paul Otten. And this was actually one that the ad agency really liked. But then some of our members blew it by downloading the video that they weren't supposed to and sending it back to Campbell's with their music slugged in there. Remember that little fiasco? Here's one by Katie Costello, who's actually gone on to be kind of famous. Hers is called Kaleidoscope, not terrible. Here's one called Amazing, not terrible. And here's one called Wake Up Happy. Those were all submitted for, I'm having a great day, kind of a boom, bop, bop, bop piano thing. And that'll be the last time I ever imitate a piano on the show, hopefully. Oh, here's some more for, this was the depression one for the Abilify-like drug, the pill for the, the kicker pill. Tomorrow Brings Hope. That's a good one. Light Breaks Through, another good one. And Better Tomorrow, another good one. So those were all examples of good titles, certainly given the context. So there we go. Those are good titles and bad titles, and that was number 3, not titling your music so the buyer or the end user, if you give it a bad title or something like commercial music.mp3, then how the hell do you expect them to know? Okay, number 4. This is one of the 7 deadly sins. Number 4 is not knowing the language of the industry you want to be in. You want to be in the music industry. Could be you want to be in the radio and record side of the industry and you're going for a record deal at a major label or indie label. You need to know the terminology about different kinds of deals, or, whatever terminology they would use under the roof at the label, because if they're seriously interested in you and they call you up and you go in for a meeting, you don't want to look dopey, like you don't know what the hell they're talking about. You want to be able to converse intelligently with them. Not knowing the language of the industry you want to be in, let's say that you get a call from a music supervisor, and the supervisor says to you, hey, Bob, do you own both sides? You'd be surprised how many people don't know what owning both sides mean. I think for a lot of people imagine both sides. Oh, yeah, I'm a 50-year-old. Back in my day, both sides meant a 7-inch vinyl single with, She Loves You on one side. And what was the flip side of She Loves You? It was a Ringo song, right? Was it Love Me Do, I think? Both sides means the copyright. Do you own the copyright, the publishing, the composition? Do you own that? And do you own the master side? That's what they mean when they say both sides. So you need to learn this stuff. Obviously, you guys are kind of self-selected in the best and brightest because you're watching Taxi TV, and that is where you learn this stuff. You can learn it on our website. We have tons of articles about this stuff. As a matter of fact, my friends Roy and Mike are probably watching the show, and when they do their copycat show, they'll tell you exactly what I just told you, because they tend to take a lot of stuff that they learned on the show. So that's good. At least they're spreading good, solid information around, But get to know the lexicon of the industry that you want to be a part of. Let's see, somebody says they want to sign one of your songs in perpetuity, and you have to ask them what that means. They are going to discount you as a rookie, and they're probably not going to ask the magic question like, do you have any more stuff I might be interested in? Because if they perceive that you're a rookie, they might also perceive that you're going to be problematic. Maybe you're going to give them stuff that's got illegal samples contained within, and you wouldn't know the difference because you're such a rookie that you wouldn't know that you can't use samples of other people's instruments or music as part of your track. So, if you don't know what perpetuity means, what else don't you know? You are now somebody to stay away from. They're not going to want to work with you. Okay. The 5th deadly sin, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I need a drum roll for this one. Do I have a drum roll? Where's my drum roll? Ooh, drum roll with fanfare, even better. Okay, the 5th deadly sin is fearing failure. And I think I did a show about this, or I wrote a piece about it recently in one of my letters to you guys. If you fear failure, you're not going to pitch your music, and you will get exactly nowhere. If you don't pitch it, nobody hears it because you're afraid that they may not like it and you're going to feel rejected. You just knocked yourself completely out of the contest. So they didn't even have to go as far as rejecting you because you pre-rejected yourself by not submitting it. If you don't get out there, you can't land a deal, and you also have a much smaller chance of finding out what you could do to make your music better. And better is what gets you signed, okay? Very few people have stuff that right out of the box at the beginning of their career is perfect. So I see this all over the internet all the time. Drives me nuts. People will say, yeah, Taxi's really cool, but you got to have music that's ready to go right now. You got to have master quality music. You got to have broadcast quality music. You have to have radio ready music. You have to have music that music supervisors want right now. Well, that's part of what Taxi's about, is clearly the opportunities that we drop in your lap. But the other big part of Taxi is learning how to take a C-level song and make it a B-level song. And then learning how to take your B-level material and make it A-level material. It's not just that you want to use Taxi only to submit your material. Use Taxi as your independent A&R company, your people to give you feedback, your people to learn from. Watch the show, go to the road rally, go on the forum, and read the feedback from the screeners so that you don't have to feel failure. You can embrace failure. And the more frequently you submit and the more frequently you fail, the faster you're going to get better. So rather than spending 5 years waiting to get stuff forwarded or get a deal or get a placement, why not make it 1 year by submitting, a few things a month? Don't worry if you fail. Don't worry if it sucks. Don't worry if it needs help. Embrace that. Use it to your advantage, all right? You want to get forwards and deals, and the fastest way to get there is by failing and failing often. I saw a great quote earlier today. Sophia gave me something to proofread for the member deals section of the Taxi newsletter that's coming out in a few days. And here's a quote from our very own Russell Landwehr. Russell, are you watching the show today? I hope you are, because I'm about to quote you. Scanning the thing. I don't see Russell in there anywhere. All right. Well, Russell may not be watching. I hope he is. I hope he watches later. He's a good guy, and he posts a lot of really good stuff on the forum. But in response to Sophia reaching out to him about some recent placements that he got, he said, having Taxi is like having a contact placed deep inside the music industry. The opportunities Taxi provides for this landlocked Ohioan are priceless. Taxi is the whole package, though, and not just a contact. There's a whole community of wonderful and supportive Taxi members on the forums. There's a wealth of information in Taxi TV. Yay! Wrong button. It's a wealth of information on Taxi TV. Having direct access to Michael's knowledge and opinions there, as well as his guests, is wonderful. Plus, we've got the Road Rally. Yes, we do, and it's coming up. Don't forget, November 6th through the 9th. So sign up now. All these Taxi tools add up to some serious artist self-development, and he put the word self in all caps. But for me, the most beneficial thing about Taxi is the focus that this whole package provides. The focus to provide specific music, the focus to become excellent enough to be forwarded. There's no way I could have ever had placements on prominent cable TV shows like this without Taxi. Taxi is awesome. Thank you, Russell. You're awesome for saying that, and I appreciate it. But he makes that point that it's not just about the contacts. It's all about the process of failing and improving, failing again and improving more, and doing that over and over again. And the faster and more frequently you do it, the better you're going to get. So, number 5 was fearing failure. Don't let that ruin your life. Okay, number 6. This is a biggie. I've been seeing this one for 22 years. I don't know that I've ever mentioned it on the show, but it's really important. Blaming everybody and everything but your music for your lack of success. I'm going to say that again. Blaming everything and everybody else but your music for your own lack of success. Compare it to somebody who wants to be a quarterback for a pro football team. If you were a walk-on for tryouts to be the quarterback for a pro team in the NFL, I guess that was redundant. Pro team in the NFL. And you didn't get the gig. Would you blame the scouts? Would you blame the coaches? Would you blame the other players? Maybe, especially if it was some guy tackled you and broke you in half in the process. Would you blame the NFL or the team? No, no logical, rational, reasonable person would blame the scouts, the coaches, the other players, the NFL, or the team. Of course they would not. You would blame yourself for your own lack of ability if you had any modicum of common sense, right? But musicians don't do that. They frequently blame the industry. They blame the radio stations. They blame taxi. They blame taxi screeners. They blame the music supervisors we forward music to. And they even blame the public for having bad taste, when all they really need to do is just take responsibility for their own stuff and do the hard work like the guy who got the job as quarterback. And if they do that, then they'll have a shot. And that was deadly sin number 6, okay? I mean, that will stop your career dead in its tracks faster than anything. Just not owning it, not taking responsibility, blaming everybody else and everything around you for your lack of progress or your, lack of ability to land a deal. Don't do it. And finally, number 7, deadly sin number 7 that will stop your career from ever happening is wanting to be in the music business and earn income in the music business, but refusing to treat it like it is a business and giving your customers what they want. Customers, that's what you're pitching to. A music supervisor is your customer. The producer on the show that the music supervisor is pitching your music to is your customer. The viewing audience of that show is your customer. The people who listen to radio are your customers. The people who download your music from iTunes are your customers. The people who stream it on Spotify, those are your customers. Anybody who could consume your music in any way, shape, or form is the same thing as a customer. And if you owned a store, wouldn't you want if you were a customer and you walk into a sporting goods store and you're looking for fishing tackle, but instead they're trying to sell you shotguns, are you going to go back to that store? No, because you walked in there trying to get something in particular that you were looking for, and they wanted you to walk out with something that you didn't even want or need. Then why blame the music industry if you make music that it doesn't want, because it and all those aforementioned people, the supervisors, the radio listeners, the blah, blah, blahs, they are your customers, and why not just give them what they want? If a music supervisor needs a slow singer-songwriter song about lost love, and you've got the greatest heavy metal song on the planet, is it the supervisor's fault that he or she can't use it? No. No rational person would think that it's the music supervisor's fault. But you would be shocked by some of the phone calls and emails we get around here from people ticked off that a screener wouldn't forward a heavy metal song. Everybody tells me it's great. People love it when we play it at shows. My mom thinks it's great. My girlfriend thinks it's great. I think it's great. I know it's great. I use the engineer that did this band or that famous band, or I had this big producer. Doesn't matter. If George Martin produced your heavy metal song, it doesn't matter if the music supervisor needed a sweet, heartfelt, we just broke up singer-songwriter song. If upbeat pop music is all the rage on radio, can you blame a record company for not wanting to sign your really excellent new age record? No, of course not. Because they feed pop radio stations pop music. And pop radio stations have pop listeners, and those listeners are a certain demographic that buy certain products. So unfortunately, it's not like 1972 where we had great FM radio that might intermingle, Diana Ross and Pure Prairie League and Led Zeppelin in the same set. Doesn't happen anymore. The marketing people figured out it's better to pigeonhole stuff, and like it or not, that's what we're stuck with. If you hired an interior decorator and he or she was tasked with finding the right piece of art for your 4-year-old's bedroom, and they showed up with a piece of graphic, erotic art, would you buy it? Even if it was the most incredible piece of erotic art you'd ever seen? Of course not, because you can't put erotic art in your 4-year-old's bedroom unless that kid is one kinky little kid, all right? What if it's the most incredible piece of art ever? What if Pablo Picasso painted it? But you couldn't use it in a nursery, right? So that piece of art has no value for you. Just like a great piece of art is the wrong color, the style, the wrong style, the wrong type, and the wrong size for a room and the mood you're trying to create, the same is true for music. They're both art. But it's your job as an artist to figure out who needs what you do. And if you can't figure out who needs what you do, you might want to think about finding another style that you can enjoy doing that a market actually exists for. All right? So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, the 7 deadly sins that can kill your music career. Questions? Look at that. I did a show in 40 minutes. I think that might be a world record. Do I have other notes on here? Oh, here, I'm going to add one more. It's not one of the 7 deadly sins, but it's certainly a sin. Looking a gift horse in the mouth. Okay, do you guys know where the expression looking a gift horse in the mouth comes from? I just learned this on the History Channel or somewhere recently. Back in the day, somebody might give you a horse as a very valuable gift, maybe as part of a dowry, if your daughter's getting married, whatever. So back then, it was common, if you were buying a horse, you would lift up the horse's gums and check out the horse's teeth and the horse's mouth interior to see if the horse was healthy, you know, or the gums pink or the teeth long and not worn down, which would give some indication of age of the horse. So it was considered rude that if somebody gave you a horse, you know, like part of a dowry or some other gift, if you checked out the mouth, then you'd be looking a gift horse in the mouth. It would be considered very rude. Okay, so the Taxi Road Rally. That's your gift, all right? It's coming up again, November 6th through the 9th. And I can't believe how we have to beg some people to come. Well, it's hard to get off work. You know, it's expensive to buy the plane ticket. I understand. Look, times are tough. People, we hear that every day from members that money is tight. The economy has not bounced back. But you know what? If you really, really, really want to make music your career, there is no greater thing you can do than come to the Road Rally. It is 3.5 days of so much information that you couldn't possibly get in everything that you want to do, but I guarantee you that you will go home to wherever you came from just leaps and bounds more educated, more realistic, and better prepared to succeed in the industry because you got off your butt and came to the Road Rally. So knock off the excuses and don't look the gift horse of the free Road Rally in the mouth. Just get off your butt and find a way to get here because it's going to be amazing. I'm waiting right now to find out about somebody that I've asked to be our keynote and Lifetime Achievement Award honoree, and I hope that person says yes because she will be amazing. I'm doing some new types of panels this year that I think are going to be a little different and pretty amazing. Definitely breaking the mold on some of the stuff that we've done before, and I think the members are going to love it. So even if you've been to a couple of other road rallies, don't think it's going to be more of the same old stuff. This year, we are going to stress helping you find ways to succeed more than ever before, okay? The Taxi Road Rallies, anybody who's ever been to one will tell you, it's not about, look at all the pretty famous people we can put on the stage, and you can go, wow, I'm really impressed by that. Nope, we don't do that to you. We don't stick a bunch of A&R people tilting back in their chairs going, dude, if you're good enough, we'll hear about you. We don't do that. We don't let them off the dais without asking them the tough questions that give you the right answers that you want to know. So plan on coming to the Road Rally, November 6th through the 9th in Los Angeles. You don't need to rent a car because the hotel is right next to LAX. There's a free shuttle. The hotel rooms are about $125 a night, and that's at least half price from what they'd normally be. The hotel, as anybody who's ever stayed there will tell you, is really nice. I mean, not Four Seasons nice, but nicer than most Marriotts. Pretty darn nice. The people that you'll meet there, the connections you make, the accessibility of industry people is shocking, frankly. So there you go. Let's see. CLC 63 says, I'll ride my gift horse to the road rally. Clyde Roberts says he can't wait to go. Scott Hansen, if you come out for the road rally, you better bring me some food from that restaurant, damn it. Toonster says, I like the hotel. How to nail a genre? Well, tell you what, we are going to have a panel this year that is going to be about identifying genres. You know how we do listening panels all the time where we have 4 or 5 A&R people or 4 or 5 music library owners or 4 or 5 music supervisors sitting on the panel? We are going to do a What's This Genre panel this year. And we're going to try and burn through a gazillion songs and not spend 5 or 10 minutes per song elaborating on it. We're going to pop those puppies in and we're going to ask an expert what the genre is, and we're going to ask you guys what you think the genre is, and then on to the next. Okay, so there you go. Yep, genre panel. Can you run down the 7... I just did the 7 sins. I'll do a really short recap for you, all right? I don't want to, for all the people that were here on time. Lido Man says, how about POV flying lessons? Not going to have a panel on that, although I would love that. Okay, so deadly sins, 7 deadly sins. Not knowing what genre of music you make or a particular song or track is and being able to articulate. The number 2 deadly sin, not providing your contact information where it can be easily found on the CD, on the outside of the CD, jewel case, or sleeve. And filling out the meta tag section of MP3 files with your name, with your phone number, with your email address, with the genre of the song. Make sure it's the right genre of the song, with the song title, with the BPM, and the mood, if you can swing that. That is all great information to have. Deadly sin number 3, not titling your music so the buyer or end user knows what it is versus knowing what it is. So I read off a whole bunch of names like, commercial music.mp3, people that title their stuff like that and send it to Taxi. No. Use the example of an Abilify commercial or something like that that we ran a listing, and they were looking for music that started out a little depressing, and then all of a sudden the sun comes out and there's hope. And so somebody named their track like, I can't remember now, something about hope. And it was a good title. Of course, now I can't find it. That would be too easy. Better Tomorrow, Light Breaks Through. Those are good titles for a commercial that is about, or the music for a commercial. It's about having hope that your drugs are finally going to kick in and make you happy. Not knowing the language or the lexicon of the industry you want to be in. So learn the terminology. So if the magic moment where somebody talks to you about your music, you can actually speak intelligently with them when they talk about both sides. You don't think it is, the A side and the B side of a Beatles record. It means the copyright side and the master license side. Fearing failure. Don't fear failure. Embrace it. Fear often. Fail often. Because every failure brings a lesson with it, and the more you fail, the better you get, and the faster you get there. Deadly sin number 6, blaming everybody else and everything around you but your own music for your lack of success. Grow up, suck it up, own it, and don't blame everybody else. And number 7, wanting to be in the music business and earn income in the music business, but refusing to treat it like a business and giving your customers what they want. Because that's what business is, giving your customers what they want. So rather than pissing and moaning and saying, I make, Martian space cowboy, new agey music, give them what they want. You can make your Martian spacey, new agey music whenever you want for, I was going to say a bad word, but just do it whenever you want. But if you want to make money with your music and be in this business, in the music business, then give them what they're asking for and stop complaining. All right, so that's the recap on those. Now let's go back to the other questions. Clyde Roberts says he wrote a classic country tune today. Nice to be back in the groove. Thanks to Robin. Amber Dane says she knows music theory lingo, which practically means nothing to people in the industry. Sorry, Amber. Now she needs to learn the biz lingo. Michael Mission says he was eating. Mojo Bone says have rhino skin. Jim Carvalho said, I'm glad he repeats shows. I forgot a lot. I forget stuff all the time. Getting old. Okay, Element Studio says, hi from the Bahamas. Do you have to use iTunes or can you just right click and change the MP3 info? Absolutely. Any way you can get that stuff embedded in that MP3 so it's in there, absolutely. Are labels on flash drives okay? Yeah, absolutely. Scott Hansen says, I'm sitting here tonight watching a show with Lithuanian music producer Linus Johans. I can't pronounce Johanssonis. His first taxi experience. Say hello to Linus. Hello, Linus. How are you? Thanks for watching. And I hope that Scott is feeding you well. Wadi JP is working on a dramedy pizzicato piece today. Good. Mojo says, get Randall Wixon's book for deal lingo. That's a good idea. Nigel Harris is asking somebody to share a hotel room to keep the cost down. A lot of members do share hotel rooms. Dear God, I hope that you don't get stuck with a snorer. How can we best prepare for the rally? Labeled CDs, business cards. Sure, why not on the business cards? But I got to say, at the end of the rally, I go home with like a pocket full of business cards, and I can't remember why. It's not like I'm going to go, oh, look, somebody gave me their business card. I think I'll call them and say hi. I guess it can't hurt to give them out, but don't expect much from them. The best thing you can do at the rally is make sure that if you get that lucky moment where you can get somebody alone and hand them your CD, make sure that you are handing them a CD that doesn't have an hour's worth of music on it. Give them 2 or 3 of your best things, and make sure you're handing them a CD of something they actually want. If there's a music supervisor on a panel, and that music soup is talking about, let's see, we know the music supervisor from Sons of Anarchy, so let's say that he's on the panel this year. What kind of music does Sons of Anarchy typically use? Gritty, bluesy, life sucks kind of stuff. Really sweaty, greasy, gritty, bluesy rock usually, maybe a little southern influence. So if you're meeting this person, don't hand that music supervisor a piece with an acoustic guitar and a flute, because chances are he can't use it. And if he does, by some act of God, actually listen to it, he's going to go, I don't need this. I mean, not that that's the only project he's working on, but it's his primary project. So if there's somebody else, maybe a library person, you'd be better off giving that piece of music to the library person because they have a wider berth of stuff that they're looking for. Put your picture on your cards? Sure, why not if you're good looking? I see Mary Band saying they might want to license it forever. I think you're talking about perpetuity, in perpetuity. Mojo says, The Plain and Simple Guide to Music Publishing by Randall Wixon. Forward by Tom Petty. Or Tom Petty's in there. I'm not really clear if he did the forward or not. Bet if Ian Anderson was playing the flute, that would work. I got to say, I listened. I was on my way out to the desert to go fly airplanes with my buddies, the little remote control jobs, big remote control jobs with my buddies a few weeks ago. And I listened to the Thick as a Brick record top to bottom. It was amazing. And then listen to Aqualung on the way home. Um, Raleigh hotel room, 123 a night. Um, Yeah, Clyde Roberts is asking again about the Taxi Rally room rate, and Mojo says, you'd think I would know this stuff, 123 bucks a night. I'm personally not worried about the room rate because I get my room for free, but more importantly, I am worrying right now about getting panelists and sponsors. That's my gig. All right, we're coming up on the 1 hour mark, and I think we covered it. Do you send? No, we don't send you the tickets. You go on our website and register, or you can call the staff and register by phone. We put you in the database, and then you show up and hold up your driver's license or your passport, and we look you up, make sure you're in the database, and if you are, you get your free ticket. If you're bringing a friend or your spouse or a band member or whatever, we need their information too. And we're going to need, like, it's been a while since I've registered anybody in the database, but I'm sure first name, last name, email address, phone number, and if they're coming as your guest, we'll need to know that. How much is a sponsorship? $3,500 for a booth. Goes up to about $5,000 or $7,000 if you want more extensive stuff. I think we have bag stuffers for $1,500. Scott, why don't you come out and have a booth of food? Hotel would love us for that, huh? Can you find roommates on the taxi forum? Yes. Mojo says, get there early. The line is very long. Yeah, we get people. I mean, registration officially opens, I think, at 5 or 5:30. The last couple of years, we were well organized and got it open maybe at 4 or 4:30. Nonetheless, people start lining up at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, and the line is about 1,000 people long on Thursday evening. But while you think that might suck, the cool thing is hanging out all day in the line. People sit on the floor, they hang out, they jam. They'll send one person to Burger King to bring back a bag full of burgers for everybody sitting close to them. They get a beer, they hang out, they kibitz, they jam, they get to know each other. It's amazing how many relationships are built in that line. Once we actually open registration, the line goes pretty quickly. Then we send you to another line, which is where you stand to register for the one-to-one mentoring. Now, we send you a document easily a week, maybe 2 weeks before the rally that has the full list of all the mentors that are available. And we tell you to pick 3, like this is my first, second, and third choice. And we remind people constantly, have those choices ready to go. And the reason that people start lining up early in the morning is so they have best shot at their first choice for the mentor. And it can make a world of difference. You get the right mentor, and if you're good and they like what you're doing, it's opened up a lot of doors for people. Or just getting the right advice from that person. So yeah, showing up at 5 minutes to 5 and hoping that you're going to get a great mentor, probably not the best idea. I would say most people show up at like 2 in the afternoon, have a reasonable shot at a mentor of their choice. But inevitably, people get to the front of the one-to-one mentor line, and then they want to spend a half an hour talking to my staff members who are handing out the little tags that go on your rally badge saying which mentor you've gotten at which time slot. And people, even though we've begged them, please read there's like 30 or 50 or whatever number of mentors. People don't do that before they get there, and then they want to go through every single mentor on the list with a taxi staff member, completely ignoring the fact that there are 999 other people behind them in the line. So for those of you who are smart enough to watch Taxi TV, please do us this favor. Before you come, have your first, second, and third choice of mentors picked out. And this year, rather than doing them in alphabetical order, we are doing something that I think is pure genius, which is we're going to bust out the members by genre. So at least know your genre. I do film and TV music. Great. These are the 6 mentors that do film and TV. So we've narrowed it down there. Amber says she met my daughter and her German Shepherd last year. Very sweet. Yep, Maggie's a great dog. We love her. She comes over often. Matt Vanderbo says Vanderbach. Vanderbach. I can never pronounce it right. Matt, I think it's Vanderbo. Matt says the 4-hour wait in line was surprisingly pleasant last year. Met some really cool people. Absolutely. By the way, giving you guys a little heads up, our passenger profile this month is none other than Mr. Matt Vanderbo, and I've got to say he did a great job in the interview. One of my older daughters is she does all the proofreading on the entire Taxi Transmitter before it goes out every month, and she sent me back an email saying probably the best interview you've ever had in the Transmitter, Dad, and she's been proofing it for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, something like that. So good job, Matt. Great job. Clyde Roberts says, "Thanks once again, Michael, and all my taxi friends. Going to eat my wife Debbie's meatballs. I'm so not going to even discuss that, but my wife is a Debbie too, and she makes wicked meatballs." Um, Even if you don't get Patty buses, even if you don't get your desired mentor. Last year I got great mixing advice from a mentor. And don't forget, at night we have mentors that we call them drive-by mentors. I think last year we gave them a different name. Um, it's like the Genius Bar, but we have like a songwriting bar and a production bar and a something else bar. And these are mentors that are strategically placed upstairs near the open mics so that you can go, even if you didn't get the mentor of your choice during the sign up thing, you've got a second shot at getting a mentor. Or, just so you know, the mentors for the sign up version of the one-to-ones are available only to taxi members and not guests. But you can do the ones at night are open to everybody. Um, I think I need a swig of Rockstar. Um, Sound keeps expanding when Michael isn't talking. I have no idea what the hell that means. Yeah, like an answer desk. Like the Apple Genius Bar. You can walk up. Are you talking, hey Mojo? Are you talking about adding an answer desk? Or you're making the comment that the Genius Bar is the like an answer desk, because it is. It's we have it broken out by 3 different disciplines. One is like recording and production. One is songwriting, and one might be film and TV, I think. And we have that staffed with like a couple people under each one of those disciplines. I think every night for 3 nights, so that you can go check that out. Oh yeah, I asked on the forum, and only like 13 or 14 people have replied so far. We may have Paul Reed Smith Guitars as one of our sponsors this year. They've been incredibly kind and wonderful so far. And somebody along the line made mention of, yeah, we might be able to shake loose and donate a guitar for a giveaway at the rally. Typically, right after we do the keynote and the ballroom is packed with like 1,000 people, we've traditionally done a giveaway, a drawing where we pull out a ticket stub and somebody in the room gets $500 in cash to offset the cost of coming to the rally. So I asked the question, would you guys rather have us give you the option of an electric or acoustic Paul Reed Smith guitar as the prize, or would you rather have the cash? So if you're thinking guitar, give me a +1. Jesse says he plays PRS. Yeah, I didn't even know that they made acoustic guitars, and I heard one the other night when I was over at their place. Sounded amazing. Can't do 2 separate prizes. Too hard. We talked about it though. And we didn't want to do an either or because we thought it would be embarrassing if whoever won wanted the cash and not the guitar. It'd be kind of a slap in the face to our sponsor. Waddy JP says, I want a Bosendorfer. Who doesn't? Wow. Yeah, the guitar could be priceless. Somebody else asked online, if I win the guitar, will you guys ship it for me? Um, I don't know how much the guitar is going to be valued at, but it'd be worth more than $500. That's for sure. Um, and look, bottom line is, if you're a keyboard player and you won the guitar, you could always sell that sucker on eBay and probably get more than $500 for it. Um, how about a trip to Aruba? You'd have to talk to Tony Van Veen from Discmakers. He's from Aruba. His whole family lives there. Um, Cash is easier to transport. Yeah, I'm not so worried about the transport because the guitar, I don't know if it would come in a hard shell case. Probably. In previous years when we've given away guitars, they've come in the boxes that they were shipped to the store in. So, tape that sucker shut and just check it in baggage. I travel with the Voyager guitar. Yeah, we actually had the one of those on a panel at the Road Rally years ago. It's the coolest thing. The guitar, the Voyager, the neck actually kind of breaks off of the body of the guitar, and if I remember correctly, when you kind of like go like this and put it back together, it's in tune. It's a little scary. It's really neat. Scott Hansen says, if I come out there with my wife and I win the guitar, can they ship my wife home? This is why I love Scott Hansen. He's very funny. Um, how about my cover band for the after party? Do you know, one year we had Jeffrey Steele, who's like one of the top 3 country songwriters in Nashville. He's an amazing songwriter and an amazing performer. He used to be in a band called Boy Howdy, and those of you who saw Jeffrey when he was our Lifetime Achievement Award winner probably like 3 or 4 years ago, he was amazing. He got up with an acoustic guitar afterwards and did a medley of his hits, and there were many, and he was amazing, and it was first thing in the morning. But many years ago, we had him on a songwriter panel, and after the Road Rally, we set up a band. We had a bunch of taxi screeners who are in their own right. They're all, not all, but many of them are A-list session guys and road guys. And I could see Jeffrey was trepidatious about playing with the band of guys he didn't know, learning his songs, and they weren't Nashville guys. And he said, I'll just do my acoustic thing. I said, try the band. And if you don't like it, tell you what, I'll sit right in front of you. And if you don't like it, you just give me a look after the first song, and I'll get up there and thank the band, and then you can do the rest of the performance by yourself. He was so blown away. Anyway, they did probably an hour's worth of songs in the lobby of the hotel, and it was so cute. They had all these, I think might have been Malaysia Airlines flight attendants in their uniforms dancing to these country songs. Anyway, it was amazing. We had like 500 people just packed into the lobby, and it was rocking. I have an itchy nose. It's a new law that we can carry our guitars on all airlines. That's good to know. I hadn't heard about that. Anyway, all right. What do you say, kids? Should we wrap this puppy up? I think we've covered just about everything, and I'm having the itchy nose, and I feel a sneeze coming back. I'm trying so hard not to sneeze while on air. Thank you, guys. I am probably not going to do a members-only edition on Wednesday. It's getting tough with the Road Rally coming up. I'm in every hour counts mode. I worked a lot on it over the weekend, and as many of you guys know, I will be working literally almost every day between now and the Road Rally. So it's really hard for me when I've got to spend like 3 hours prepping a show and then an hour and a half to do the show. So I may not be doing a lot of the member-only version of the show between now and the Road Rally. Sorry about that. And rather than sending out emails to say we won't be doing a show on Wednesday, we'll send you out an email, because I probably will do a few between now and November 6th. So we'll send emails when I am going to do a show. That's it. Thank you for joining me. don't forget the 7 deadly sins that can kill your music career. Hope you took notes. See you guys next week for another exciting episode of Taxi TV Live. Bye-bye.